Hi fellow dog fanciers, welcome back to a new video. Today is part 2 of the series of the life of our new puppy and her adventures. In the previous one, I told you the story of why and how we got her and her journey home. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you go and do so first and then come back to this one after. In this one, I will show you her first day home, her adjusting to us and her new Whippet family, and how our other 7 Whippets reacted to her. I'm aware that one of the most recommended methods of introducing a new dog to your current dog or current pack is to take everyone out for a walk in a neutral territory before bringing the new one home. However, knowing my dogs, their behavior, and how they react to other dogs as a pack and as individuals, and how long it takes some of them to adjust to changes and accept new dogs, we decided to do it a bit differently. If you're in a similar situation but you have little to no experience, I highly recommend you consult with a professional or somebody with more proven knowledge than you to advise you how it's best to introduce a new dog or a puppy to your established pack. Before we brought her home, we decided it would be most practical to set up a puppy pen in the living room where our whippets spent most of their day and where she would be in a safe area under supervision at all time, and we could therefore attend to her needs 24/7. In the meantime, this would allow our whippets to watch her and observe her, get used to her presence, to be able to get to know who she is, what she does, how she reacts, is she safe to them, and vice versa. I already suspected, knowing my dogs, who would love her, who would be scared of her, and who would hate her at first sight, and I was more or less correct. We arrived home shortly before noon, and first thing we did was we restricted our whippets from entering the living room and the garden so that we can let Puppy explore the new area at her own pace. Although she was interested in everything and wanted to explore everywhere, she was very careful in doing so. And this is something that I liked because it gave me an indication that she is most probably not a euphoric, overly excited type of puppy that would jump into all new situations without evaluating them in advance, which was going to be a huge advantage when she got to interact with all of the other whippets. Then we placed her in the pen and we allowed everyone else to come in and see her for the first time. We did so in pairs of 2. So one younger crazy girl paired with a laid-back oldie. And we did that to avoid them getting way too excited and redirecting this excitement at each other, which could possibly lead to some sort of a negative escalation, aka a fight. Eris was excited to meet everyone, and as you can see in this video, Ruby and Skylar are happy as well. But what you see here is mostly excitement, and that's not necessarily a good thing. We had already decided that we will allow close contact between Puppy and everyone else when everyone was completely calm. Then we had Ivy and Cooper. Cooper showed no interest, and that's why you don't see him much here. But Ivy knew since day one this was going to be her new best friend in the whole wide world and was very happy to meet Eris. But still what you see here is excitement, even though Ivy reacts like this to most dogs and she wants to play with them in a weird manner of her own. When you see this excited type of behavior, that's not an indication for you to allow all dogs to meet or to open the gate, because you might be surprised with a very bad and dangerous outcome, so don't do it. Last we had Brady and Jamie, which I didn't get to film because my phone happened to be on the other side of the room. Now I feel bad about not filming it because I would have been able to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, but what can we do? I'll try to explain it. Brady loves puppies, and that's something that you will also see later in this video. With Jamie, we had a bit of hate and growling at first. She doesn't like new dogs, and it takes her a lot of time to warm up to them. Worry not, Eris is for a long time already everyone's best friend, but I will not show you any spoilers. You have to keep watching to find out how things turn out. Then everyone calmed down and it was time to settle. And as you can see here, Ivy didn't want to leave her little best friend alone. She was acting like her shadow, and it was obviously love at first sight. Hours later, the last one who didn't meet the new puppy, and that's Grandma Lacey, finally noticed the new dog in the house. She knows puppies come in a package with chaos, loudness, and euphoria, and those are all things that she wants to stay away from, being an old lady who just wants peace and quiet. For potty training and playtime purposes, we let Eris in the garden often and mostly alone for her safety, and of course always under supervision. And that's because whippet puppies are very fast, and they're also not the wisest, and since she didn't know the area at the time and what to watch out for, if she ran with full speed caused by excitement, she could have easily bumped into something or fallen in one of our ponds, which happened anyway, but more of this later. Once Skylar also happened to be outside, and she wasn't at all trusting Eris or being comfortable around her yet, which Puppy respected, and that was great. And then one of the times we let her out, Brady somehow happened to be outside as well, which allowed for an unplanned closer introduction between the two of them. Brady is such a good boy. If there is one dog here that's absolutely amazing with puppies at all times, that's him. He would never hurt a fly and absolutely adores little four-legged kids, especially when he knows that they're ours. The thing we have to watch out for him is when he gets excited and starts running around. Because he's a heavy boy, he could jump on her or step on her in his willingness to play. And at that time, she's still young and fragile, so she can't keep up with his speed or weight. So for her safety, it was best to avoid games like this before we made sure that she knows how to protect herself and how to avoid being chased. And also, if he starts chasing her and she tries to run away, she could bump into something because, as I said, she is not familiar with the garden and what she has to watch out for. Apart from that, Brady is a great boy with puppies, extremely patient and very gentle. He is now 11 years old, but when he gets excited, he acts like a puppy himself. In the afternoon, we again let her loose in the living room with Brady alone to have some fun and explore. In the evening, everyone knows it's time to be lazy and rest, so Eris picked up calmness from the pack and would quietly play with a toy. Sometimes the others would lie next to her pen and watched her, which was something that we really liked. One of the things I love about raising puppies, apart from the puppies themselves, of course, is having the amazing opportunity to raise them in a pack of mature dogs. And that's because puppies can learn so much from the other dogs, and mostly things that we can teach them if we tried, but if they can see it from somebody else, it's so much easier for them to learn. And I will give you many examples of this in the future videos, of course. I slept in the pen with her like I did every night. I still sleep with her. I don't recommend this unless you want to cause separation anxiety. Our household and lifestyle allows for somebody to be with the dogs all the time. They're rarely left completely alone. So I didn't have to worry about the consequences of me creating a Velcro dog, which she is. She is my personal Velcro dog. She is my little shadow. She needs to know where I am at all costs. She has her schedule. She always sleeps with me. And that's one of the reasons why. It's because I slept with her every single night since day one. But if your lifestyle is different and you need to have a more independent whippet or even another dog, don't sleep in the pen with them. Build independence from day one, because you will have problems later on. Not will, but most probably will, that you will not know how to fix. So my advice here is, if you can choose to sleep in the pen with a puppy or not to sleep in the pen with a puppy, don't sleep in the pen with a puppy. That's my advice for you here. And due to the length of this video, we'll continue in the next one, where I will speak about her following days home. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll make sure to address them accordingly. I suspect that this series will cause quite some questions, whether it is on puppy, on the raising, on the methods I've used, whatever. Feel free, ask in the comment section. I'll address your questions, worry not. So have a great weekend and a lovely week afterwards, and I will see you with the next video from the series soon. Bye bye!